welcome to my new series on TikTok called the Service Dog Dictionary, where I define and explain different words, phrases, and acronyms used in the service dog community for you to understand. The first word I'd like to explore is advocate. An advocate is someone who speaks up for or supports a cause or a group of people. Most service dog handlers consider themselves advocates. I advocate for service dog handler rights, for disabled people rights. I advocate for type 1 diabetes awareness. Unfortunately, in some of these communities, we see people attacking others in the name of advocacy. So I'd just like to be here to remind you that when you advocate in a kind manner, try to educate. Advocation is seeking change or understanding, not shoving your ideals down people's throats. Welcome back to the Service Dog Dictionary. Today we're going to go over common acronyms used in the service dog community. Let's start with the ADA. ADA stands for Americans with Disabilities Act. It is the main piece of civil rights legislation for disabled individuals in the United States. SD, this one's really simple. It just stands for service dog. AD stands for assistance dog. They can also be replaced with assistance animal or service animal. There's also SDIT, which stands for service dog in training. There's also PA, that stands for public access, which refers to taking your animal into a non-pet friendly public space. Some handlers might reference the ACAA, which is the Air Carrier Access Act, or the FHA, which is the Fair Housing Act. If I missed any commonly used acronyms, feel free to put them in the comments and I'll do a part 2. Hi guys, welcome back to the Service Dog Dictionary. Today we're going to go over acronyms specific to the UK. Let's start with ADUK. This really just stands for Assistance Dogs UK. An acronym I missed in my original episode going over acronyms is ADIT, which stands for Assistance Dog in Training. A very important one for the UK is EA. This stands for the Equality Act of 2010. Not really service dog related, but you might see some people use the acronym GP. This stands for General Practitioner. ADI is Assistance Dogs International, and IGDF is International Guide Dog Federation. These are both membership-based organizations that accredit training organizations. What that means is that the organizations that train assistance dogs are members of these groups, not individual teams. I hope this episode helped you learn a little bit about British service dog acronyms. Welcome back to the Service Dog Dictionary. As you know, every person who has a legitimate service dog is disabled. Therefore, service dogs and disabilities often overlap in lingo and in communities. So today we're going to go over the term medical equipment. I'm sure a lot of handlers know where I'm going with this, but just hold on to your seats for a second. The generalized term medical equipment refers to any object or tool that helps a disabled individual live a life as close to normal as possible. You probably instantly thought of things like walkers, canes, wheelchairs, and crutches. This also includes things like pacemakers, hearing aids, insulin pumps, and other objects. It also includes service dogs. This doesn't mean that we're objectifying our service dogs. They are our partners. But legally, under the Americans with Disabilities Act that outline accommodations, they are medical equipment. Hey Elena, guess what time it is?
Adventure time.
It's time for another episode, Service Dog Dictionary.
Oh.
Guess what we're going to go over today?
Not Captain America.
No. We're going to go over off-duty versus on-duty.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So let's get to it. I see a lot of people get confused when a handler says their dog is on duty or off duty, because here's the thing, even if a dog is, quote, off duty, it's still going to do their tasks and alert their handler to oncoming episodes. So basically when a handler uses these terms, they're actually talking about public access manners and behavior. When a service dog is on duty, they are completely focused on their handler doing their job and nothing else. When a service dog is off duty, they are allowed to relax, but they are still working. They're still going to do their job. I hope that clears that. And it's time for another episode of Service Dog Dictionary. Today we're going to go over Prospect, Service Dog in Training, and Fully Trained Service Dog. This is going to be a multi-part definition video. A service dog prospect is a puppy or dog that has the potential and the person is intending for it to train as a service animal. Generally, this term is used before the dog starts any training to be a service animal. Some handlers also use the term prospect to refer to a dog who has not been born yet. So if you're going through a breeder and you're waiting on the puppy to be born, that is also an appropriate use of that term. The next two episodes will cover service dogs in training and fully trained service dogs. It is important to mention that the Americans with Disabilities Act does not define or protect prospects. Welcome to episode 7 of the Service Dog Dictionary. We're going to go over service dog in training. A service dog in training is pretty self-explanatory. It is a dog who is training to become a full-fledged service dog. If you kind of think of it as a Pokemon evolution, service dog in training is the middle evolution. There's prospect, service dog in training, and then service dog. Service dogs in training are working to solidify the 3 pillars of trainings required for a service dog. They are not defined or covered by the Americans with Disabilities Act, although public access laws for service dogs in training are on a state-by-state basis. Some states allow service dogs in training to have public access. Others only allow it when a trainer is present. Generally, the dogs are considered in training while they're still solidifying their tasks, obedience, and public access skills. This phase, on average, takes 2 years minimum. Service Dog Dictionary, Episode 8. I'm running out of intro ideas. The ADA, which defines and protects full-fledged service dogs, defines it as dogs that are individually trained to do work or perform tasks for people with disabilities. It goes on to describe examples of tasks or work, also designates them as medical equipment, not pets, clarifies that emotional support is not a task, and also clarifies that tasks and work have to be in direct correlation to the individual's disability or disabilities. Fully trained service dogs should be experienced and solid in obedience, public access skills, and of course their tasks. Due to the vague nature of this definition, the community is in constant conversation about behavior standards for service dogs. Feel free to leave questions in the comments.